Please introduce yourself.
Okay, so I'm Josie Banaglorioso. I'm a clinical psychologist by profession and a certified solution-focused therapist
Where did you graduate?
from Ateneo. I finished my PhD in clinical psychology at Ateneo, and also I finished my master's in guidance and counseling from UP.
How long have you been a psychologist?
25, 30 plus years, yes. 25 siguro ganon. 25 plus years.
Why did you want to pursue psychology?
Well, initially it was not a course that I took way back in college. It was a second career. I finished an economics major, and then eventually I think personally I had my own crisis. No? So then when I started looking for a career that would suit me and what do you call this? That's well, I didn't know my temperament then, but and I realized I was also searching for my own self.
So what do you think you'd be doing if you weren't a psychologist?
I would still be. Well, I think I could not. I think that's an idea. I can't think of anything except being a psychologist at the moment.
Okay. Have you ever been in therapy?
Oo naman. Oo naman. When I was searching for my career way back when I started, and that's probably the reason why I ended up in this career.
What are your strengths as a psychologist?
Well, one, my temperament is very much aligned to it. I think the fact that I'm a person who's always spontaneous and very open-minded. So that one, because in psychology, when you talk to people, a lot of possibilities can come out. And then second, ano pa, I'm a very sensitive person. So sensitivity may not be an attribute, may not be a positive attribute, but you can, as a psychologist, it can become a strength.
What do you specialize in?
Right now, since a clinical psychologist, I do depression and anxiety, also adjustment issues and work-related issues for adults.
What's your opinion on conditioning? Because we learned about conditioning in class. Like, what's your opinion on it?
My opinion?
Yeah, because once in class, our teacher, Sir Darren, in class, he lets us openly discuss our topics. Like, we have readings, we read Ciccarelli and White, and then we have a topic, and then we discuss it.
Can you tell me first about conditioning? What exactly in conditioning what do you mean exactly by conditioning? Okay.
Like, we learned about the
Because
conditioning.
it can be broad as well.
Like, we learned about how you can do conditioning to animals, and one of my blockmates brought up how you can condition people. Like, she read this article, this girl, she'd give her crush his favorite candy every time he'd see her, and then over time he became excited to see her because the thought of his favorite candy was associated with her, and that became a huge topic in our class.
Mm-hmm. So what's your question? What do I think? What do you mean? What do I think in what area?
Because I feel in psychology, intro to psychology, I'm a political science major. That thing, when we learned about conditioning, I was like, whoa, that's so cool. This is probably why people learn psychology, because
you can control people's mind.
Not just that, but then you can really read into things.
Okay, I think there are some folks who use it because they want to manipulate people, right? Of course, as a psychologist, you'll be able to do that, no? Be able to label, be able to determine, okay, what's in the heart and the mind of the person, no? And I think well, I use it primarily because it's more of helping people to become more aware of themselves. But I know that there could be other uses for it, no? So if you're going to ask me, about it, well, of course, I don't necessarily agree, no, with how it's used in marketing, but I think that's the practical aspect of psychology, right? To help to what we call this to be able to control people's minds and behavior. But then I think bottom line for me, it's very more important that people become aware of their own behavior, you know, and at a certain point they also have the power to choose.
Do you think all liberal arts students should learn the basics of psychology?
Oo naman. Because the reason why I agree with that is because if you realize everyone is relating to people and you're relating also with yourself. So it would be good to have those competencies in place.
So even students that aren't liberal arts, like engineering and economics, you think they should also learn
Oo
psychology?
naman. Because by the time they reach the workplace, the challenges become difficult and usually it's about relating to people.
Okay. Please describe a day in your life.
What do you mean a day?
Like, how does your day usually go about? Like work?
Well, the typical day I would come here because I have some clients to see in the morning and they came from the evening shifts. And then after that, the midday, I would go home and I would have time to spend with my sister. Okay, so that's about it.
Okay. What are your hobbies?
Hobbies. Ano ba? Well, I read up so much on health. That's medical. And I think it's also on management.
What do you do to relax?
What do I do? I think, well, one, I particularly like that at the end of my shift, I go to rustans, no? Where you can smell and see nice stuff and you can even touch them. I think it's a way to, it's more it's an opportunity to get in touch with more refined things. Okay.
What advice could you give to any psychology major?
Well, make sure that you really love it. Because if you don't, okay, yeah, it's a challenging endeavor. But I think it would be it's a it's a it's a very promising it's a very promising career, but it can also be challenging.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
So that's about it.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank
see
you.
you.